Well, we're just about there. Seems to me to be a sign coming up in just a minute. Right here on the left, about Rochester. Just on the outside. Got to be a mile down the road. There it is. Rochester. Coming into Rochester about 6:37 today. Kind of a long drive, but not too bad. It was around 4 hours, I guess. Something like that brought me here. And basically I'm just going to find a place to stay tonight. I don't know how much looking around I'll do, maybe a little bit. But tomorrow will be the day that we'll take a video tour of Rochester and kind of see what the old place looks like. Okay? We'll catch you then. Well, we're going to start off our tour back at the old stamping grounds of RIT. Well, here we are on campus, looking across now at the photography department, where I took many of my classes back in the late 60s. The rain has slacked up a little bit. It's been pouring rain all day today. There's a little bit better view of the photography buildings. Believe it or not, we're at WITR right now inside the studio, which is now FM. A little bit of AM too, I guess. This used to be our control room back here, but there's nothing like the old days at all.
And at the top, Roxy Music off CD with Turn You On. 11:49 here on WITR. This is Kathy. I'm just about through, and John will be with you next. Time to be with you. I'm out of time. I need to spend some time with you. I'm out of time.
Lots of albums, probably some of the ones I used to play are in here somewhere. Gosh knows where. So, this is basically it for the campus. Campus swimming pool. This is the administration tower. And right down here in front of it is the capsule where my radio show is underneath here. It's kind of funny to see this now, but that's what it is, right out in front of the school. So, I guess that's it for now here at RIT. Well, what would downtown Rochester be without Eastman Kodak? And there it is, still shining away up there. That's the main tower and executive offices of Eastman Kodak here in Rochester. Little red light burning on top. So they used to say, man, if Kodak was making money, the red light would light. I don't know if it's lit anymore or not, but that's what it looks like. Which is just down the road from where I used to live, going this way, is old Nathaniel Rochester Hall, which now looks like a retirement home. But that is what used to be Nathaniel Rochester Hall, dormitory for RIT. And that's where I spent about 2 years living there. Directly across the street from the old dorm used to be, well, there was like a soda shop and drugstore. It's gone. It's just a parking lot there now. Just a parking lot. You can see where the building used to be, but for whatever reason, it's gone. Just as this old church, which is still here, is now a music school. Looking upward now. East on Main Street. This has probably changed the most. This area here by the Genesee River. Right here on the edge is a brand new Holiday Inn that wasn't there before. Right along Main Street. Rochester has an awful lot of these anymore. These little bridges, closed bridges crossing over downtown. There used to be a lot of those anymore. Seems to be different. It's the same, but it's really different. Some new buildings. There's the old Xerox building there, which used to be the only tall one in the area. Public library there in the background. The thing I forgot to mention here, this First Federal Plaza, talking about new buildings. It's like one with a round top on it. You see that for quite a ways when I was coming in Rochester. As I said, this is the Genesee River, and it's where Genesee beer is made, and here is the beer processing plant. And over here is the corner of what on Troop Street used to be the Mohawk Motor Hotel, where Mom and Dad used to stay, and that's now called the Plymouth Park West. And as we go a little more up Plymouth Avenue now, behind it used to be, of course, the old, nasty apartment house where I used to live for about a year, and that's gone. It's replaced now by this office building up here. Walking a little bit further on Plymouth Avenue South. They got a sign here that says, "Welcome to Corn Hill." I never heard of that before. This inner circle is all gone. It's just an overpass now. That's what's strange. Now, next to what used to be the Mohawk is another set of apartments which I used to live in, which are still there. I used to live up on the second floor, I believe. But it used to be just a little street there, and now again this 490 is here. This is unbelievable. This just used to be a traffic circle here. Kodak on the left and Nathaniel Rochester Hall on the right. It's all divided up here now. It used to be just a straight street across. It's all divided. Troop Street, where the old WITR used to be, is down in here somewhere. But that's even hard to find now. But the biggest surprise is this interstate. It's the place of the inner circle that used to be there. So it's kind of weird looking at this. Really strange. Still see Cobb's Hill, which I used to use at the base, but I might try and go over there. It's where all the TV antennas for Rochester are. I lived at the base on the other side of Cobb's Hill. There's my car there in the foreground. Here's a view from the outside of that waterworks building, which you probably hadn't seen before. Well, wonders never cease. After a little bit of trying, I finally found Crossman Terrace, corner of Field and Crossman, 340 Crossman Terrace, where I used to live a long time ago. Well, it used to be yellow when I lived here, but now it's been painted blue. It doesn't look like there's anybody home either. There's a lot of mail on both sides. I used to live on this side of the house. I like all the nice junk that they've got out. Somebody must have got kicked out of their apartment, or it's junk week or something. But that used to be my front door when I lived in Rochester. This was the last house that I lived at before I went to Albany, Georgia. The fellow used to be so meticulous about this house. I don't see how he can still own it, because everything seems to be overrun. Well, what may be my last stop here in Rochester is, of course, the George Eastman house. And much to my dismay, as we look at the George Eastman house, we'll see that it's under renovation and closed. But anyway, I think that will be the end of this part of my visit to Rochester.